He sat alone in his big, empty apartment, staring blankly at the clock on the wall as the minutes ticked by, each one feeling like an eternity. He couldn't believe it was already his birthday. It felt like just yesterday he was blowing out the candles on his cake, surrounded by family and friends. But now, as he reached another milestone in his life, he couldn't shake the feeling of loneliness that seemed to weigh heavily on his heart. Just as he was about to give up hope and resign himself to another solitary birthday, there was a knock at the door. Excitement and anticipation flooded through him as he made his way to answer it, his heart pounding in his chest. As he pulled open the door, he was met with the smiling faces of his closest friends, each one holding a gift or a drink, ready to celebrate his special day. But among the crowd, there was one person who stood out to him above all the rest. She was standing there in the doorway, her eyes sparkling with the light of 1,000 stars. His friends laughed and chatted as they made their way to the living room, where they set down their gifts and drinks on the coffee table. She, meanwhile, hung back for a moment, her eyes taking in the details of his home, the way it was decorated, the pictures on the wall, the book on the shelf. Atmosphere in the apartment became more relaxed and everyone seemed to be having a great time. He noticed that she was getting more comfortable as well, and she was laughing and talking with his friends, seemingly enjoying herself. He saw his chance and asked her if she would like to take a walk with him. She agreed with a smile and they left the apartment together. The night was clear and cool and the stars were twinkling above them as they walked. And they both felt their spirits lifted by the fresh air and the quiet of the night. As they walked through the quiet streets, the city was bathed in a soft orange glow from the streetlights. And the only sounds that could be heard were the distant hum of traffic and the crickets chirping in the bushes. The houses they passed were dark and silent, the inhabitants inside already fast asleep. And the only thing moving were the gentle swaying of the tree branches in the breeze. As they walked, they talked about everything, and he felt himself falling deeper and deeper under her spell. She had a great sense of humor and an easy way of talking that put him completely at ease. And he found himself telling her things that he had never told anyone before. As they walked and talked, they came upon a small park. They sat on a bench and they watched the stars twinkling above them. The silence felt comfortable and natural between them as they sat together and felt the closeness growing between them. The moon was full, casting a pale silver light over everything and creating long shadows on the ground. They talked about the stars, pointing out different constellations, and for a moment it felt like time had slowed down. And they were the only two people in the universe. They felt connected, and it was clear that the attraction between them was growing stronger. As they sat together on the bench, the conversation turned to their hopes and dreams for the future. She told him about her desire to travel the world and experience different cultures, while he spoke of his ambition to start his own business. They realized that their goals were not so different, and that they both wanted to make the most of their lives. As they talked, he couldn't help but feel drawn to her. Her passion for life was contagious, and he found himself wanting to be a part of it. He found himself wanting to make her happy, to be the one to share her adventures with her and to help her realize her dreams. As the night went on, the conversation turned more personal, and they opened up about their fears and insecurities. He found himself telling her things that he had never shared with anyone before, and as he spoke, she listened intently, understanding and comforting him. It was a moment that had been building between them throughout the night, as they felt a deeper connection and attraction to each other. They were both lost in thought, looking into each other's eyes, feeling the intensity of the moment. He leaned in, taking her face gently in his hands, and pressed his lips to hers. It was a moment of complete connection, where they felt like they were the only two people in the world. They had finally found the missing piece of their hearts, and nothing else mattered. After the kiss, she felt her heart flutter with excitement and joy. She couldn't believe how perfectly the kiss had felt and how it had exceeded all of her expectations. The kiss had confirmed everything that she had been feeling and thinking throughout the night. She felt an overwhelming sense of happiness and contentment, knowing that she had found someone special with whom she could share her life and her dreams. It was more than just a physical act, it was a symbol of the love and connection that they had developed. She felt like she had found her soulmate, someone who understood her, who accepted her for who she was. As the kiss ended, she opened her eyes and looked at him. The kiss was a turning point for her. It made her realize that she was falling in love with him. For her, That kiss meant everything. It meant hope, it meant a future, it meant a beginning of a love story. That kiss was a defining moment for her, one that she would remember forever as the moment that changed everything. She knew that they had a long way to go before they could say they were in a relationship. But that kiss had given her the confidence to take that next step. After he and she parted ways that night, he couldn't shake off the feelings that the kiss had stirred within him. As he walked home, his mind was racing with thoughts and emotions. He replayed the kiss in his mind over and over again, feeling a sense of euphoria wash over him every time he thought about it. He had always been a bit hesitant to open up to someone, but with her, it had felt so natural and easy. And the kiss, it had felt like the most real and sincere thing he had ever experienced. He couldn't wait to see her again. As for her, she couldn't help but smile as she walked home, feeling the warmth of the kiss still lingering on her lips. She felt like she was walking on clouds, her heart full of hope and happiness. She thought about the way he had looked at her, the way he had held her, and the way he had kissed her, and she knew that he felt the same way. When she got home, she couldn't stop thinking about him. She lay in bed, staring at the ceiling, replaying the night's events over and over again in her head. She felt like she had finally found someone who truly understood her and who wanted to be a part of her life. She couldn't wait for the next time she would see him. They were not alone in this experience. Many people find that romantic moments like this bring them happiness and fulfillment. The attraction, the emotional connection, and the physical affection that comes with romantic love are all powerful emotional experiences that can bring joy and contentment to one's life. For many, love is a source of strength, hope, and inspiration. It helps to chase away the darkness and fills our hearts with light. Love can also change people's lives for the better, inspiring them to be their best selves and to strive for more. For him and her, their love story was a reminder that when we open our hearts to the possibility of love, we can find happiness in the most unexpected places. It was a reminder that love can be the most powerful force in the world, capable of changing our lives for the better. And that is something to be cherished.